Check. Namaskar. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the annual session of the Society of Indian Defence Manufacturers. Our program is about to start in the next 7.5 minutes. Well, this is a very precise environment, so let's say 7 minutes, 47.34 seconds. May I request all members of the audience to please take your seats? Hmm. ये हटा अच्छा ये पूरा ही हटा रहे हैं हाँ जी वो मैं दे दूंगा सर ये बोलता है हाँ सर ये कैमरे में जैसे भी कुछ मैसेज जाती है तो कोई नहीं है वो कोई बात नहीं बड़ा मैं आप Ladies and gentlemen, our first session is due to start in the next 5 minutes. May I request all members of the audience to please put your mobile phones on silent mode. Please put your mobile phones on silent mode. I'm sure you would have responded to all the good morning messages on WhatsApp. Well, our first session will start at 10:30 with an inaugural address by Sri Baba Kalyani, the founder president of SIDM and chairman of Bharat Forge Limited. That would be followed by a special address by Sri Sanjeev Kumar, Secretary Defence Production, Ministry of Defence, Government of India. That would be followed by a keynote address by the senior most Armed Forces Officer of India, General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Defence Staff and Secretary, Department of Military Affairs. Finally, we'll have a vote of thanks by Sri Ashok Kanodia, the Chairman of MSME Committee of the SIDM. That will be followed by a felicitation of our VIP dignitaries. Our second session is due to start after the arrival of our chief guest, the Honorable Raksha Mantri of India, Sri Rajnath Singh, who's due to arrive at 1130 hours. That is the time we'll have the presentation of the Champion Awards by Sri Rajnath Singh, the Honorable Raksha Mantri. The presentation of the Champion Awards would be followed by a release of the awards compendium, an exchange of a memorandum of understanding between the All India Council of Technical Education and the Society of Indian Defence Manufacturers, a keynote address by the Honorable Raksha Mantri, a vote of thanks, a group photograph with all the champion winners, and we have a sumptuous lunch awaiting for all our guests. The lunch break is going to be from 12:30 to 1:30. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the final session, the plenary session is going to happen at 2 o'clock. So we'll keep you informed of the entire sequence and developments as the day progresses. The plenary session is going to have very distinguished panelists, and we'll introduce you to each one of them as we come closer. किस चीज का? बीस सेकंड बाद। अच्छा ठीक है। मैं उनका नाम बोलता हूँ। ठीक है, लेकिन स्टाफ है भी, ठीक है। Well, dear guests, the countdown has begun. We have 5 minutes before we see the start of the first session. And in a few minutes from now, we'll be witnessing the arrival of General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Defence Staff and Secretary, Department of Military Affairs. So the Indian defence and aerospace sector stands at the cusp of significant transformation, with the nation's exports, the defence exports, reaching a record high of 21,000 crores in the financial year 23-24, marking a 32% annual growth over the previous year. And as India strives towards self-reliance in defence manufacturing, the government's strategic initiatives are paving the way for enhanced indigenous production and global competitiveness. The first session will explore how these efforts are driving exports and catalyzing innovation, positioning our country as a leading player in the global defence market while reinforcing its national security. The discussion will set the tone for a comprehensive examination of India's defence industry's future, focusing on opportunities to empower stakeholders, boost exports, and further strengthen the indigenous innovation and manufacturing ecosystem.
Once again, commend the Andaman and Nicobar Command and the Society of Indian Defence Manufacturers and the Confederation of Indian Industry to have taken this path-breaking initiative to organize this unique ANTAC seminar.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Society of Indian Defence Manufacturers, we wish a very warm welcome to General Anil Chauhan, Param Vishish Seva Medal, Uttam Seva Medal, Ati Vishish Seva Medal, Sena Medal, Vishish Seva Medal, Chief of the Defence Staff and Secretary, Department of Military Affairs. General Anil Chauhan, as Chief of the Defence Staff, is the senior most officer of the Indian Armed Forces.
I once again commend the Andaman and Nicobar Command and the Society of Indian Defence Manufacturers and the Confederation of Indian Industry to have taken this path-breaking initiative to organize this unique ANTAC seminar.
Namaskar, good morning, welcome, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a delight to see the bright shining stars of the Indian defense manufacturing industry here gathered together in this hall. Ladies and gentlemen, our first session this morning is now set to start. We have the august presence of all the dignitaries on the stage, as you can see them. They are the stalwarts of our nation, and they need no introduction. And I'm definitely not going to read out their biodata because that's going to take about 6-7 days to complete if we go through all the details. I'd like to first invite Shri Baba Kalyani, the founder president of SIDM and also the chairman of Bharat Forge Limited, sir, to give a welcome address and begin the proceedings on a bright, cheerful note.
Well, good morning, everybody. General Anil Chavan, Chief of Defence Staff, Sri Sanjeev Kumar, Secretary Defence Production, Mr. Rajendra Bhatia, President of SIDM, Mr. Kanoria, Member, Executive Member SIDM, Mr. Ramesh, Director General, a past President of SIDM, Mr. J.D. Patil, Mr. Shukla, our distinguished guests from the services, General Abhay Dayal, other colleagues, and distinguished guests from the foreign embassies. I see people here from England, from Germany, and maybe some others. And of course, distinguished members of SIDM, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, it's a day of great pride and honor for me to see how the last 7 years since the formation of SIDM, how they have passed and how SIDM as a institution has prospered and has made industry, the defense industry and their members prosper. I think it's an extremely important lesson for all of us. So let me just give you a few background into how SIDM was formed and a few thoughts from my side into what we need to do in the future. The inception of SIDM happened during 2015, 2016 with extensive consultations on the DPP 2016, the whole Make in India process, the IDDM process. That time there used to be a strategic procurement process, which I don't think went anywhere. But it was late Mr. Mohan Parikar who really gave a push first to me personally and then to the members of the defense community, because he was seeing 5 different associations going to him for consultations on defense. There used to be CII, there used to be FICCI, there used to be ASSOCHAM, and there used to be all kinds of other institutions. And it was his idea that form an institution which will bring the entire defense industry players, small, medium, large, public sector, private sector, foreign industries who are operating in India, all of them together and create one voice of the industry. And I think we are very successful in making this happen, but I have to thank the Ministry of Defense, the Honorable late Mr. Parikar, and of course, everybody else, including our current Raksha Mantri ji, all the secretaries of defense who have been there ever since 2016, and they gave a tremendous, and the services who gave a tremendous helping hand to make this happen. The outcome of this is that we now have, I don't know what is the total membership. 700. Yeah, 700 odd members. We have 5-6 different nodes, right from Coimbatore to Lucknow to, of course, Delhi, Bombay, Pune, many places. We have small and medium sector industry. We have medium, we have excellent techno entrepreneurs who have entered into this game. We have, of course, the large industry players who are in this. And with the policies that the government has set up, especially recently in the last 2 years, that India and Indian defense industry should focus on creating its own intellectual property, should focus on creating its own technology, and use that to create products that are exportable. And today, it's a reality. Our exports have touched, I'm told, close to 21,000 crores, which is quite amazing. I mean, somebody had told me 10 years ago we will export 21,000 crores. I would not have believed it. So I think if I tell you 10 years from today, the number should be more like 200,000 crores. You wouldn't believe it, but I think it's pretty much within our reach to make it happen. Because technology is moving at a pretty fast rate. And the great thing is, with all the policy initiatives for startups, for IDEX, for all kinds of things that the Defense Department has done, MOD has done, the Government of India has done, and the response that we have got from all of you, especially the small and medium sector, the startups. You look at our drone industry, the way it is developed. I mean, it's just simply amazing. And I think that's the way things are going to move forward and move forward very, very rapidly. Two things are required in today's age of digitalization, artificial intelligence, and the huge amount of disruption that this is going to throw in every sector, and of course in the defense sector. The days of doing things by one company, by one person are gone. You cannot make things anymore in that fashion. You have to learn to work collectively. Even technology evolutions today in the most advanced country like the United States are beginning to happen collectively. You want to develop a new technology, you need a minimum 50 to 100 startups in that sector working with you to develop this technology. And those are the days we are going to see happening with this whole change of digital AI and all the new technology innovations that are coming in. India has always been a land of innovation. I don't think we are second to anybody. We unfortunately don't have the ecosystem that the Western countries have had, but I think we are getting there and we're getting there very fast. So, my simple advice is start collaborating, start working together, start developing new products, but products where you control your own IP. India must control its own destiny, and that's important. If India has to become a economic superpower, if we have to achieve the dreams that have been set by our honorable Prime Minister, India at 47. The numbers may vary. Somebody may say $25 trillion, somebody may say 35, somebody may say 40, it doesn't matter. You reach anywhere near there, you're a developed nation. And it's going to be a game changer event that's going to happen in the next 25 years, but cannot happen if you don't work collectively. So my simple message is you need to, message to SIDM is you now need to focus on innovation and create an innovation group, focus on how you can collectively work with educational institutions, universities, uh, with industry, and set your aims, set your goals much higher to produce tomorrow's products. With these few words, I'd like to wish SIDM, President Colonel Bhatia, Suresh, Ramesh, and of course, a big thanks to all our dignitaries here, General Chauhan, uh, Mr. Sanjay Kumar, and all the ex-presidents who are here, uh, J.D. Patil, yeah, Mr. Shukla, and myself included. I was the first president of the SIDM. So thank you very much.
Sir, that's mine. बच गए. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's a small request. Can you stop looking so serious, please? There's no income tax increase happening. You don't need to look so glum and serious. I would now like to request our special guest, please, Sanjeev Kumar, the Secretary, Defense Production, Ministry of Defense, Government of India. Sir, if you could please address the audience.
Thank you very much. A very good morning to all. General Chauhan, Chief of Defence Staff, Sri Baba Kalyani, leading industrialist, SIDM Bhatia ji, Mr. Rajesh, Mr. Kanodia ji, my colleague from the Ministry of Defence, colleague from the services, colleague from DPSUs, members of SIDM, all past president of SIDM, including Baba Kalyani ji once again, and other industry associations, private players, MSMEs, entrepreneurs, ladies and gentlemen. It's really a great honor to be here for me at SIDM 7th edition of annual session. It's incredible to see the growth of a organization which in 7 years which SIDM has achieved. It's really tremendous growth which SIDM and its member have able to achieve in the last 7 years. It is all because of the leadership given by its president and its member. And I must congratulate all of them. Today, SIDM is celebrating its 7th edition with the theme of empowering India's defense industry future, catalyzing exports and indigenous innovations. I'm sure the sessions like this, seminars like this, serves a very useful purpose of providing feedbacks to us in Ministry of Defense and also to the services, and also help in understanding and networking with each other. A dialogue between all stakeholders provide future roadmaps, helps in making future roadmaps, both for government and industries. As we all know, Indian aerospace and defense sector is going through significant transformation. Government of India has taken various initiatives for the inclusion of private industries and also industries as a whole, which has resulted in boosting our production to almost 1,25,000 crore in FY 23-24, which is 16% more than FY 22-23. Incidentally, this is highest ever growth registered in defense production. The earnest desire of Honorable PM is to achieve self-reliance in entire gamut of our industries, including defense industries. That's why a lot of efforts are being put on developing indigenous defense capabilities. Though we remain committed to peace and stability across the world, we are able to increase our export, as Baba Kalyani in his inaugural speech said, that our export of defense has grown more than 20,000 crore, which is more than 32% over last financial year, that is 22-23. If we see this number over a horizon of 10 years, then we can see that this number has become almost 30 times from 13-14. So, which is a remarkable achievement for all of you. The contribution of private sector and DPSU in export is 60-40. That means that private sector is able to export more, leveraging its strength in foreign markets. This remarkable growth has been achieved due to the industrious efforts by all of you and also by policy reforms and ease of doing business initiative brought in by the government. This growth is also a reflection of global acceptability of Indian defense product and technologies. With an intention to achieve Atmanirbhar Bharat and keeping in mind the larger goal of Make in India and a substantial export of defense products, the government has taken several policy initiatives in the recent years under Make in India program and brought in reforms to encourage indigenous design, development, and manufacture of defense equipment in the country. As Baba Kalyani spoke, and very briefly, but he touched a very important point that not only we have to manufacture, we have to design, we have to conceive, we have to create IPR for our own, for our country. Then only this growth can be sustainable. There cannot be second thought about it. So we need to work all in that direction. His mantra that collaboration would be the formula for creating these IPR also cannot be doubted. I would just further emphasize that IPRs cannot be or won't be able to, we won't be able to create IPRs in spite of having best of talent until unless we are here for long haul. We all need to be committed for long-term investment as an individual, as an industry, and also create very powerful network between ourselves, between research institutes, between services who are the ultimate consumer and provide very, very useful guidance on what is possible and what is not possible, along with, of course, Ministry of Defense. Some policy reforms which has helped in increasing our participation in manufacturing and export is according priority to the procurement of capital items from domestic source under Defense Acquisition Program. We all know that. Promote indigenous design and development of defense equipment by Indian category has been accorded topmost priority for procurement of capital equipment. Make procedure of capital procurement have been simplified. And I understand when I say this that there is still more to be done, which is required by all of you. We are all eager to hear from you, and whatever is possible, we are committed to do that. This growth wouldn't have been possible without the support of our support and wholehearted acceptance, or rather, leading by the services. They not only has led this movement of Atmanirbhar Bharat, but also supported and accepted it. As we all are aware, indigenization of defense item is paramount priority of government. Surgeon portal has been launched by MOD, and positive indigenization list has also been notified to facilitate industries for their participation in these initiatives. While most of us would like the speed of indigenization and opening up sector, the private sector as fast as possible, but we need to also keep in our mind that a sector which has been hitherto closed for so many years would take slight, I won't say more time, but slight adjustment in all stakeholders to push it further and further. Under ease of doing business, government has rationalized the list of defense product list requiring industrial licenses. Further, the validity period of license has also been extended. This is a major step in making sectors open for private investment and also create ease of doing business. Easing of licensing procedure has also provided companies with better opportunity to get finance from institutions. In last 7-8 years, there is almost 200% increase in the number of defense licenses issued by the government to various industries. FDI policy has also been liberalized. Friends, promotion of innovation and technology development is also a priority area where government is making a special effort. Launch of IDEX scheme is one such initiative taken by MOD. This scheme, as we all know, engages startups, MSMEs, individual innovators, R&D institutes, and academia to foster innovation in aerospace and defense sector. To further support the development of such innovation and critical technology, A new scheme, IDEX Aditi, is launched recently by Ministry of Defense. We have also carried out reforms in defense offset policy with a thrust on attracting investment and transfer of technology for defense manufacturing by assigning higher multipliers to them. Online offset portal also ensure greater transparency and efficiency accountability in the process. Offset guideline has also been made more flexible. Dear friends, it is well established that MSMEs are playing pivotal role in domestic defense manufacturing of our country. To further integrate MSME to defense ecosystem, Department of Defense Production in partnership with industrial associations conduct outreach program in tier 2, tier 3 cities across the countries. Recently, Department of Defense Production also signed an MOU with the National Stock Exchange of India to facilitate capital market access to MSME in defense sector. We all are aware that Government of India has taken various initiatives to create defense manufacturing infrastructure in the country. Through Defense Industrial Corridor in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu has been established for that purpose. It will help in creating economies of scale and development of clusters so that better efficiency and better innovation and collaboration can take place and internationally competitive product can be developed in the country. We all know that world-class defense products and equipment would require highest level of quality assurance through testing and certifications. There are certain gaps in that. Government has recognized that and taken initiative to create a state-of-the-art testing and certification infrastructure facility through Defense Testing and Infrastructure Scheme. Currently, 7 domains have been recognized for establishing testing facilities in both the defense industrial corridor. I am aware that the scheme is slow to take off and we need to work together to expedite the scheme, probably fine tune it better further so that the scheme can be expedited. I would once again like to emphasize that Government of India is fully committed towards nurturing and providing supportive environment for further enhancing our capabilities and establishing India as a leading global defense manufacturing hub, in addition to become Atmanirbhar in self-defense. I also take this opportunity to appreciate role played by various industry associations, especially SIDM, which in its existence of last 7 years has achieved a huge and tremendous milestones in shouldering the responsibility of promoting idea of Make in India initiative of government. Involvement of SIDM as a partner agency in organizing pan-India MSME conclaves, becoming part of MOD delegations, visiting foreign countries, and recent registration of Defense Export Promotion Council under Societies Registration Act are some of the efforts worth noting. I believe this annual session of SIDM will bring together policymakers, armed forces, industry leaders, prominent think tanks to brainstorm the challenge and opportunity in shaping India's defense landscape while offering insight into the emerging trend in global defense sector and would provide valuable feedback and policy guidance to us. I also congratulate recipients of Champion Awards for their remarkable achievement and contribution in the field of defense manufacturing. I extend my warm wishes to all entrepreneurs and innovators present here who are working hand in hand with services, DPSUs, scientists, and other stakeholders in this path of nation building and making India achieve its true potential in the field of defense production and export, and establish India as a leading global defense manufacturing hub. At the end, I would like to thank SIDM for offering me this opportunity to interact with all of you. I'm sure the session in the afternoon would be very, very meaningful and would help us in understanding the sector and path to our goals better. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to listen the words of the senior most officer of the Indian Armed Forces. Please welcome General Anil Chauhan, Chief of the Defense Staff and Secretary, Department of Military Affairs.
Shri Sanjeev Kumar, Secretary Defense Production, Shri Baba Kalyani, Founder President of SIDM, Rajendra Bhatia, President SIDM, Mr. Ramesh, Director General SIDM, Mr. Ashok Khanoria, former presidents of SIDM, Mr. Shukla and Jayant Patil, captains of the Indian industry, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all of you. And let me begin by saying that it's a matter of great honor for me to address this esteemed gathering and share my thoughts on the theme of this particular seminar. That's empowering India's defense industry's future, catalyzing exports and indigenous innovation. At the very outset, actually, let me first thank Mr. Rajendra Bhatia and Mr. Ramesh, the President and Director General of SIDM, for giving me this opportunity to deliver this keynote address for the 7th annual session of the SIDM and for the Champions Award. First of all, my compliments to SIDM for conceptualizing this particular event, which aims at fostering collaboration, innovation, and growth amongst all stakeholders for positioning India as a leading player in global defense market while reinforcing India's security. The world, if you see around us, is actually going through a very unprecedented kind of a crisis. The Israel-Hamas and Israel-Hezbollah war has potent to escalate further. And the basic question which comes to everyone's mind is that, will wars continue to remain as instruments of state policy to resolve political disputes? The simple answer to all this is yes. I believe that conflict is inevitable part of human life, human nature actually. Wars and warfare have been part of civilization. A conflict-free world actually is, I think, a very utopian kind of a dream. And in the real world, actually, it is used as an instrument to impose one's will on the adversary. This is not what I have said actually, the last part. This has been said by Clausewitz. And he's also said that, war is a continuation of politics by other means. So war and warfare are as old as human civilization and they will continue. We all know that the current geopolitical environment is in a flux and every nation is hedging its bets because of this uncertain kind of a future. Another important maxim about war which I want to share with you is that there are no runners up in war. The winner takes it all. And hence, all nations are actually trying to keep, what I say is keeping their powder dry. India too has to follow that suit. Our Honorable Raksha Mantri, the Defense Minister, while addressing the first Joint Commanders Conference in Lucknow on 5th of September this year, had said that India is committed to peace but should be prepared for war in order to preserve it. A deterrence that is kept credible is the only way to preserve peace. A peace-loving nation like India should have enough teeth. Actually, I just want to quote Ramdhari Singh Dinkar over here, who had said that क्षमा शोभती उस भुजंग को जिसके पास गरल हो उसका क्या जो दंतहीन विषरहित विनीत सरल हो. Coming on to the theme of today's particular annual session of empowering Indian defense industry's future, catalyzing exports and indigenous innovation. In this particular theme, I have actually picked up 4 words and I'll speak about them. One is future, second is empowerment, third is catalyzing exports, and ingenious innovations. That's the 4 things. Coming on to future, the defense industry can only be empowered for the future if it understands the nature of future threats and how they're going to manifest actually, and how the Indian armed forces are actually visualizing it. To some extent, Baba Kalyani did make a mention of AI, machine learning, and new technologies, which are going to revolutionize warfare in the future. So the industry has to understand as to how Indian armed forces are seeing how this warfare is going to unfold and how they're going to fight. In fact, quite recently, on 27th of September, we had held our first course on future warfare. If someone who had gone through the media, they would have realized this. In this, actually, till now, I would say that we were looking at technologies or platforms to either produce or procure for the Indian military. In this kind of a scheme of things, we'll always be following. We'll be always a step behind. So we're going to change this particular thing. So while we're discussing this kind of future wars that India is going to fight, we are not trying to replicate how advanced militaries are going to fight their wars. Actually, we are trying to find out how we are going to fight our wars, because our environment, our threats, our uh, geopolitical situation, our geography, everything is unique to us, and we're going to find a unique solution which is actually suits us. So that's, I think, important. And in this particular course, which we had curated, there were people from the scientific community, academia, and few entrepreneurs actually. Maybe next time, what I'll do is I'll involve some more people of the industry into it so that they can understand what our thought process about it. The second word which I've chosen about is empowerment. Empowering means actually providing power and authority. This with a view to excel in exports and ingenious innovation. Empowerment, I believe, is actually a function of policy. In the past few years, MOD has laid out a large number of policy reforms to empower the Indian defense industry. This range from reforms to facilitate ease of doing business to reforms in quality assurance and testing, licensing, investments, defense acquisition procedures, and all. And a large number of them actually have already been referred to you by Secretary Defense Production, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar. So I'll not labor on that. I'd just like to point out one small fact that in this financial year, the budget outlay for capital acquisition is about 1.72 lakh crores, approximately $21 billion, of which, as per the Raksha Mantri directive, 75% of this has to be spent on Indian defense industry, which amounts to almost about 1.05 lakh crores or 13 billion US dollars. So such policies actually, if are really are the ones which actually empower you people to take decision and to move forward. The third theme of this particular session, or the third word which I have chosen, is actually to catalyze defense export. And I'll begin by saying that then every disruption, actually, there lies an opportunity. And I believe in this current disruption of global supply chains, this is all happening because of this unprecedented crisis the world is facing, because of this demand of military hardware across on all countries. This also presents an opportunity to defense manufacturers and defense companies globally, and also to Indian companies. In my view, the Indian industry will have to innovate in this regard. Like we all actually, we've been saying that we want to do Atmanirbharta, want to do Make in India. And what the trend which I am seeing now is other countries also want to take a cue from us, and they also want to do this kind of Atmanirbharta initiative. So they also want to establish joint ventures. Indian industry, both private as well as DPSUs, have they've not been averse to this joint ventures, and large number of successful models are there. We have this Indo-Russian Rifle Private Limited. We have BrahMos. Mr. Pillai is here from BrahMos. We have Safran and HAL doing the SAFAL for the IRMH. We have the Tata Advanced Systems Limited with Airbus for manufacture of C215, etc. In fact, I was reading the newspapers a couple of days back that Tata Advanced Systems Limited is likely to manufacture wheeled armored personnel carriers vehicles in Morocco. And I think that's a step in right direction. And recently, Mr. Baba Kalyani, while he's sitting there, told me that he's got into a MOU to manufacture artillery guns for the US in a joint kind of adventure. The MOD has taken a big initiative to post our defense attaches in area of potential exports of military or defense products. And here I think SIDM needs to play a major role in trying to connect these two together. They must communicate with the defense attaches the capability of Indian defense industry. This will require, in my understanding, cataloging and competency mapping of all those 700 defense industries which Mr. Bhatia was talking about. And SIDM must act as a bridge between our mission abroad and defense industry for the purpose of defense exports. We already know that MOD has set a target of $6 billion US dollars or 50,000 crores by 2029 for us to achieve. And I think it's a very achievable kind of a target. We should be able to do it, but this will require close coordination between DPSUs, old and new, private defense industry, DDP, and the armed forces. One more thing I'd like to touch upon is the Defense Expo. Actually, this has to be done in a very innovative kind of manner, and I had some few ideas which I've discussed with people. So we'll have to rather demonstrate the equipment which we manufacture or we create in field rather than showing it in kiosks which are organized in cities like Delhi or some metros or so. We've got to take that into field so that people can test it, they can feel it, and they can use it. Yeah. And then, of course, they'll be able to see it, show more interest in that. And the last thread which I picked up from the theme is indigenous innovation. We all know that we have the largest ecosystem in the world for innovation and indigenous application. The STEM graduates from India are almost about 10 million per year. We have the largest startup ecosystem, close to 1 lakh 26,000 for the last count. We have the largest numbers of unicorns, 130 odd. We are the largest software engineers. India has one of the youngest demography with a median age of about 29. This provides opportunity to young task force of entrepreneurs. India also has the widest and the biggest diaspora, almost like 3 crores, spread across all continents of the world. This is again an asset actually, which we need to use. This provides India entrepreneurs the ability to network globally and to gain from collective wisdom. The idea is of all this is to harness our energy and provide two things. One is correct direction, that is Disha, and second is momentum, that is Gati. So Gati and Disha, both are important. A large number of initiatives, number of them has been mentioned by the secretary. IDEX is one successful program which currently engages almost about 400 startups and MSMEs. DRDO is running this technology development fund, which has increased its limits to about 50 crores. This is another good initiative, which as of now has about 78 kind of schemes. Then, of course, recently we have launched Aditi, for which the government has laid out almost about 750 crores. So most of this has been covered. Apart from this, the DRDO and services, they have invested in IITs, our premier institutions, by setting up centers of excellence over there. The private industry and DPSUs actually need to emulate that. You also need to invest in R&D. And what we said that we must have own IPR for most of the things which we develop in India. So this is how the defense R&D ecosystem will grow further. How do we all achieve this? That's the big question. And how do we all put it together? And for this, what comes into mind is this fifth word, which I want to talk about. It's about strategy. Nothing actually works without a strategy. And this holds true in the context of enhancing India's defense exports and ingenious innovations as well. Dreaming alone or just talking about it may not actually make you go there. Actually. So you need to strategize things. And there's a need to put this into place. As an army general, we used to strategize, but that was all with the military forces in field actually. But however, today strategy is no longer restricted to being called as an art of the general. It is used in very many forums. So you have a business strategy, market strategy, you have strategy for everything. So you'll have a strategy for ingenious innovation and for exports also. So strategy serves as a comprehensive framework that defines desired ends, outlines the ways to achieve those ends, and defines the means to execute the plan effectively. So basically, it's an interplay between ways, ends, and means. Let me lay down a few cardinals which come to my mind or fundamentals for this particular strategy. The first one, which I would say, is about dream big, start small, act fast. This approach underscores the need for an ambitious kind of a vision, a big dream, combined with the pragmatic execution, starting small, and move briskly in the right direction with the right momentum. Act fast, which I also said Gati and direction, Disha. The second mantra which I would talk about is to create cross dependencies. By encouraging cross dependency between the Indian defense industry and foreign OEMs, India can create mutually beneficial environment that will allow sharing of knowledge, technology, and resources. The strategic relationship, I believe, will secure the defense supply chains both domestically as well as for the foreign OEMs. The third mantra I would like to talk about is what Mr. Baba Kalyani has talked about collaboration. And may I add something more to it, a collaborative competitiveness, probably. If you look at the word which I'm saying, it more or less looks like an oxymoron. How can, collaboration and competitiveness be together? But I think this is the need of the hour. We must compete as well as collaborate with each other so that the defense products meet the gold standards and affordable and competitive kind of a prices. And in this particular model, while I did allude to a couple of joint ventures which have happened between Indian private defense industry and DPSUs and with foreign OEMs, but I'm yet to see a joint venture between a DPSU, which is government owned, and with the private entity. I think there is also a need to, because both these people have their own strengths and weaknesses and strong points. They should also be able to work together and create something for the defense industry. We should be able to look at that. The fourth mantra for the defense industry is to identify core competency and then focus on it. Currently, all industries want to participate in all ventures and all arenas. They respond to all RFPs with the same kind of vigor. This issue, I think, needs to be resolved within the industry. We can only help you a lending hand, actually, because everyone can't make everything. So we got to specialize and and then do certain amount of things. So this, I think, is very, very important. And next, I would talk about is the last is about civil military fusion and the whole of government approach. That again would be kind of needed, and this also was alluded to. So this may be nothing, not very new. So India's dream of self-reliance and defense sector to come true, the troika of three major players, that is defense DPSUs, the ordnance factories, erstwhile, and the industry as one vertex, the academia, DRDO, and R&D establishments at the second vertex, and the services themselves. They all three need to collaborate together to make this actually come true. Uh, I firmly believe that a strong armed force backed by strong defense industrial infrastructure is a sine qua non for any nation to protect its national interests and exercise strategic autonomy. At the end, I would like to say empowering India's defense industry through a focus on catalyzing exports and fostering ingenious innovation would be the key in shaping India's future. The time is to act now. There is a saying, कल कल ही आएगा, इसका मतलब कभी नहीं आएगा. जो करना है, आज करना है, अभी करना है. So together we can achieve this vision and through a thoughtful kind of a strategy. With those thoughts and ideas, I wish the seventh annual session of SIDM an unprecedented success. And I like to convey my best wishes to all the prize winners who will be receiving SIDM Championship Award shortly. I wish you all the very best in all your future endeavors. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I would now like to invite Sri Ashok Kanodia, the chairman of the MSME committee for SIDM, to please give a vote of thanks. Adjust the mics, please.
General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Defence Staff, Secretary, Department of Military Affairs, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar, IAS, Secretary, Defence Production, Mr. Bhatia, Mr. Kalyani, respected members of the defence industry, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver this vote of thanks in the opening session. First and foremost, I extend my profound gratitude to Ministry of Defence for their commitment, for their support. That has had an effect on India's military industrial complex. The landscape has changed. Building upon this momentum, I would like to thank the armed forces under the visionary leadership of General Chauhan for their steadfast support that we have received, his advice, always willing to listen to us, provide guidance and support. Our gratitude also to Sanjeev ji for his proactive approach. The day you took over, sir, we were there with you and you were kind enough to receive us and be here today. I also want to take this opportunity to express our deep support for the past presidents and all the membership. A lot has been talked about where we have come. Before I conclude, I would like to have two takeaways, sir, for you. We are expected to grow 2.5 times in the next 4 years, and that we shall, as we have met all the targets that have been put forward to us. In this growth, if I look at the past 5 years, we are where we were. And when I say we, private industry. If you see our percentage in the last 5 years, it has remained constant. If we want to grow 2.5 times in the next 5 years, this has to go up. Just do the math. So, sir, special emphasis and a target needs to be set that if we are at 18, 19%, how do we grow to 25, 30, and 35? And unless this is done, the question will be, are we going to achieve what we have set out to? So this is the thought, sir. I want to leave this with you. Second thing, we all talk about IP, creation of IP. Who does it? My members, my MSME members and startups. They are the ones who do it, majority. From our side, I would like to convey one thing, sir. Why we are small? Our pockets are very small. We are bootstrapped all the time. For us, if you have liked something and if we don't get revenue very quickly, our existential stake is there. How do we exist? So, this is something that you need to factor in our thought process of continuous in house development of our own technologies, sir. This is an important fact that I just wanted to say before I say finally, thank you very much for being here, for spending the time that you have. And I thank all of you for participating in this event. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we close this session, we'll have a brief felicitation ceremony. I'd like to request Sri Rajinder Singh Bhatia, the President of SIDM, to please present a special gift to General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Defense Staff and Secretary, Department of Military Affairs. A beautiful little plant which is a symbol of growth. A special gift for Sri Sanjeev Kumar, Secretary, Defense Production. Thank you, sir. With that, we come to the end of this session. And ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes from now, we'll be witnessing the arrival of our chief guest, the Honorable Defense Minister of India, Sri Rajnath Singh. May I request all members of the audience to please remain seated while the receiving party is moving out to receive the Honorable Raksha Mantri. सभी अतिथियों से निवेदन है, आप कृपया अपनी कुर्सियों पर बैठे रहिए। आजकल बहुत बहुत जगह इलेक्शन चल रहे हैं, वैसे ही कुर्सियां बहुत डिमांड में हैं। So, ladies and gentlemen, it's nice to see you smiling, much brighter than the lights on the ceiling. We are now going to show you a short film on the SIDM and the things that have kept them busy over the past 1 year.
The Society of Indian Defence Manufacturers, SIDM, has positioned itself as a key enabler in the development and enhancement of India's defence industry capabilities, spearheading the nation's efforts towards self-sufficiency in defence production, contributing significantly to the country's strategic autonomy and global standing in the defence sector. India's defence and aerospace sector continues its impressive growth, ranking fourth globally in firepower. The Union Budget 2024-25 allocated rupees 6,21,940 crore to defence, emphasizing modernization and self-reliance. With 606 industrial licenses issued, the sector is rapidly expanding, positioning India as a rising defence manufacturing hub. In 2023-24, SIDM championed crucial policy changes to streamline processes and improve the ease of doing business. Key proposals included reforms in trial procedures, a shift to the full-cost, no-commitment model, QA reforms, life cycle sustainment contracts, categorization reviews for make projects, indigenous content incentives, implementation of surety bonds, calls for tax concessions, capital subsidies, and PLI schemes for defense manufacturing, initiatives to boost defense exports, and critical inputs on the Military Airworthiness Bill and DAP 2020 revision. SITM also outlined an ambitious vision for Viksit Bharat at 2047 in the defense sector.
और इन वर्षों में एसआईडीएम देश की डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री की एक मजबूत आवाज बनकर उभरा है। और आज जब मैं हमारी डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री को लगातार आगे बढ़ते हुए देख रहा हूँ, एसआईडीएम को लगातार आगे बढ़ते हुए देख रहा हूँ, मैं कह सकता हूं कि हमारी नेशनल सिक्योरिटी हो या फिर इकोनॉमिक प्रॉस्पेरिटी, दोनों ही दृष्टियों से हमारा देश लगातार मजबूत बनता जा रहा है।
During the year, SIDM spearheaded over 100 impactful engagements with key stakeholders across India and internationally. SIDM partnered with the Indian Armed Forces to showcase India's growing defense capabilities through various symposiums and exhibitions, including North Tech Symposium 2023, Indo-Pacific Army's Chiefs Conference, Swawalamban 2.0, Goa Maritime Conclave, and Antech 2024. These platforms highlighted Indian defense companies' world-class military equipment and addressed unique operational challenges.
I once again commend the Andaman and Nicobar Command and the Society of Indian Defence Manufacturers and the Confederation of Indian Industry to have taken this path-breaking initiative to organize this unique Antech seminar.
SIDM facilitated forward area tours to high-altitude regions, critical air bases, and strategic locations, bridging the gap between operational demands and industry capabilities. SIDM organized roundtables on armored vehicles, webinars with the Indian Navy on critical technologies, and the 17th International Aerospace Conference, fostering dialogue on self-reliance and driving innovation across the sector. SIDM championed MSMEs and startups through various initiatives, including a groundbreaking MOU with the Indian Navy and SIDM, industrial visits to L&T's state-of-the-art facilities, flagship MSME conclaves, co-hosting Indus X 2024, and establishing the Defense Technology Incubation Council.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to inform you that our chief guest is due to arrive in a few moments. May I request all guests to please take your seats? We are about to witness the arrival of the Honorable Defence Minister of India. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'd like to request you, please put your mobile phones on silent mode. Yes, yes, yes. Rohit, stand by. I'll signal. भारत के माननीय रक्षा मंत्री श्री राजनाथ सिंह
और इन वर्षों आवाज बनकर उभरा और आज जब मैं हमारी डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री को लगातार आगे बढ़ते हुए देख रहा हूं, एसआईडीएम को लगातार आगे बढ़ते हुए देख रहा हूं, मैं कह सकता हूं कि हमारी नेशनल सिक्योरिटी हो या फिर इकोनॉमिक प्रॉस्पेरिटी, दोनों ही दृष्टियों से हमारा देश लगातार मजबूत बनता जा रहा है।
देवियों और सज्जनों, स्वागत से पहले एक शिकायत करनी पड़ेगी। सर, आपके आने से पहले सब लोग बहुत सीरियस थे, कोई मुस्कुरा नहीं रहा। अब ना तो यहाँ पे सूरज है ना सूरज की रोशनी, लेकिन सबके दिलों में अरमान और चेहरे पे मुस्कान आ गई है। एक लखनवी अंदाज में माननीय रक्षा मंत्री जी का स्वागत किया जाए। आप आए, बाहर आई। Ladies and gentlemen, the Indian defense industry has achieved an annual growth of 32% over the last 1 year, and the defense exports of India have grown 30 times over the last 10 years, which is 30 times over the last 10 years is the highest level of growth rate of any industrial group anywhere in the world. The highest growth rate of any industrial group anywhere in the world. And that has been possible. We all know it. Deep in our hearts, we know it. It has been possible because of the visionary leadership of the government of India, led by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, and the statesmanly, inspiring, encouraging leadership of the Honorable Raksha Mantri of India, Shri Rajnath Singh. All the boundaries which used to previously exist between the Ministry of Defense, the defense PSUs, the private sector, all those boundaries have been set aside, and the entire community has come together as one. एकता में शक्ति है, शक्ति में सुरक्षा है, और सुरक्षा में विकसित भारत की नींव है. It is wonderful to see the champions of the Indian defense manufacturing sector here in this audience, and we are so honored to have the presence of our Honorable Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh. I would now like to invite the President of SIDM, Mr. Rajinder Singh Bhatia, to kindly present a welcome address.
अच्छा था, बढ़िया। आप सबका SIDM एनुअल सेशन और चैंपियन अवार्ड में हार्दिक स्वागत है। इससे पहले कि मैं कुछ शुरू करूं, वी मस्ट थैंक श्री राजनाथ जी। उनकी तबीयत थोड़ी खराब थी, पर उन्होंने फिर भी बोला कि ये फंक्शन मैं जरूर अटेंड करूंगा। और वैसे भी मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा सर, आपने SIDM चैंपियंस अवार्ड फंक्शन आज तक हमेशा अटेंड किया है, और आपकी प्रेजेंस के बिना तो ये पूरा होता ही नहीं है। सो धन्यवाद सर, आज आप पधारे। I would also like to acknowledge our CDS, Jan Chauhan, Secretary DP, who has been a great support and he's shown tremendous interaction with industry in just about last few weeks. Baba Kalyani, the founding president of SIDM, Jain Patil, the president after, Mr. Shukla, the past president, and Mr. Ramesh and Manoj Jain, CMD MEL. Sir, we are extremely honored to have with us today you present for this event. Sir, you have given us unwavering support and has graced this event year after year. In fact, this event does not feel complete unless Mr. Rajnath ji is present. Your leadership and encouragement has been instrumental in driving policies and continue to empower and uplift the Indian defense ecosystem. We have already been told that we recorded the highest defense revenue last year of 1,28,000 crores, 21,000 crores out of which was exports, showing an increase of 32% year on year. Sir, all this has been possible because of the guidance and the support given to the Indian defense industry, which is now showing much greater capabilities and also growing its global footprint. सर, आप पिछले साल जम्मू में आपने हमसे अपने दिल की बात की थी सर, और वो दिल की बात सबके मन को छू गई। पर उसका एक डिडक्शन था which really said when winds of change are blowing, do not create walls to stop the wind, set up windmills, which means take that opportunity and exploit it. I think Indian industry today is poised to exactly do that. So it is a matter of pride to host this prestigious event where we all come together to honor the trailblazers of the Indian industry. Excellence in innovation, and this was again mentioned by CDS and by Secretary DP to some extent, is the key because technology will continue to remain an instrument of foreign policy. So, if you want this instrument to work in your favor, you have to be the trailblazers for developing technology in the country. आज बहुत सारे awards दिए जाएंगे. And this was also a record year when we received 85 nominations for just 12 categories. It was, in fact, very interesting to see people really coming out with innovative ideas. All I would like to say here is this, that each one of those 85 people are actually winners. And winners के लिए मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा, यूं ही नहीं मिलती राही को मंजिल, एक जुनून सा दिल में जगाना पड़ता है. सो उन लोगों ने ये जुनून जगाया है और इसलिए वो आज विनर्स. Sir, this year has been an unexpected growth for SIDM. We are reaching 700 members, and this cuts across the span of PSUs, Indian large industry, startups, MSMEs, everybody. Nearly everyone which has an industry in defense and aerospace is a member or going to become a member of SIDM. We have also strengthened our international engagements. We had session with USIBC. We have moved on ISET. We have moved on Indesex. We have now a working relationship with German industry. We have set up industrial collaboration with UKIBC. And there has been broader collaborations and opportunities which are coming our way. A key driver behind these accomplishments has been the unstinted support given by Ministry of Defense. Sir, I can assure you that when exports were being talked about, even when an Indian company sent a message in the middle of the night to the Secretary of Defense Production or to the people dealing, they were getting their answers and replies in quick time back. We have never seen greater engagements of MOD with stakeholders. And this has all been brought out by that. So one more very great announcement has been setting up of that 1 lakh crore deep technology fund. Need is to operationalize that so that quickly we can get not 900 or 1000 startups, we can probably have 1 million startups in this country. And that is what will drive when this innovation fund comes into play. Sir, I would also like to congratulate you. You are in United States, and during your presence, SOSA was signed. I think it's a great opportunity. United States market to remain the most dominant market in the world, with a total budgetary spend close to $1 trillion, $900 billion. Our ability to get into that supply chain will play a major part going forward into the future. We need to probably sign up 1 or 2 more small little facilitating agreements, and this will allow Indian industry to be part of US supply chain. Sir, I would also like to especially highlight the work which has been done on IDEX, IDEX Prime, and now what we are talking about, Aditi. All these things have created that little bit of, I would say, Janoon in every member of SIDM. Today's event actually revolves around SIDM Champions Award. It is the pinnacle of efforts to recognize innovation and growth within the defense industry. This is not only a celebration, and honestly, this is not a full stop. This is a continuum. At best, it's a comma. We need to continue on this journey. All this will translate into making India a Atam Nirbhar Bharat. And I will say a quote which says that पसीने की स्याही से जो लिखते हैं अपने इरादों को, उनके मुकद्दर के पन्ने कभी कोरे नहीं होते. So I'm sure each one of you will have your mukaddar written good and proper. Sir, we were also tasked with setting up of Defense Export Promotion Council. I'm happy to announce that all the formalities have been completed and we will now operationalize this activity and give a boost. And the last time I met, you asked me, can we do 50,000 crores of exports? And my answer was, why not, sir? आप time दीजिए, हम करके दिखाएं. So Indian industry is committed to doing that. We also have a landmark announcement. We believe skill sets and the typical skill sets which are required for defense industry are paramount. Today we are signing a MOU with AICTE, which will make defense technologies part of the curriculum for every engineering college in the country. So this step is really going to be a major step in moving forward. Sir, just a little bit about the awards today. The awards categories. This is the fourth time you are presenting them. One is to recognize technology and product innovation. Second is to recognize import substitution. Third is development of critical and niche technologies. And last one is innovation through research, which is internal design, development, and manufacturing. Every nomination has gone through a very rigorous evaluation, and we have chairman of the jury, Dr. Pillai, sitting here, who has personally gone through and interviewed everyone, and the whole team which is sitting here went through every application with a, I would say, microscope. So I would say winners are, of course, winners, and everybody who participated is also a winner. So किसी ने कहा है यूं ही नहीं मिलती राही को मंजिल, जुनून सा दिल में जगाना पड़ता है. All I'll say that every member of SIDM has that junoon and passion. We are sure to show you much greater innovation in the years to come and will help make India a Atmanirbhar Bharat. With these words, I would again like to thank Honorable Raksha Mantri for gracing this occasion. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the presentation of the Champion Awards. It's a secret list which has just been provided to me a few seconds back. And I request our chief guest, the Honorable Raksha Mantri, Shri Rajnath Singh Ji, to please present these SIDM Champion Awards. In the first category, Cat 1, which is for innovation to address defense capability gaps. We have a total of 5 winners. And let me go through the names one by one. I'd like to invite the champions first for the Technology and Product Innovation Award in the large scale industry segment. Data Patterns Limited. Data Patterns Limited. They have received this award for their excellence in precision approach radars. We now move on to next winner in the technology and product innovation segment. Anadrone Systems. Anadrone Systems Private Limited. A Champion Award for Shikra, the high-speed, expendable and maneuverable aerial target system. The next award goes to JSW Geco Motors Private Limited. This award is for a specialist mobility vehicle, the SMB N1200. And the next champion is Jonet Technologies Private Limited. Jonet Technologies winning the award for Jonet JM1 loitering munition. And now a special jury award for Indigenous Research Solutions Private Limited. The special jury award is for Divya Drishti, AI-based detection of a person based on physiological parameters. We now move on to the next category of awards, which is for import substitution. And the first award goes to Bharat Electronics Limited. This award is for Commander Thermal Imager cum Day sights for T-90 tanks. The next champion award goes to New Space Research and Technologies Private Limited. New Space Research and Technologies received this award for a tethered drone system. Next award goes to Devendra Autocom Private Limited. Devendra Autocom Private Limited receiving this award for fuel injection pumps for armored vehicles. And within this category of import substitution, a special jury award for Merlin Hawk Aerospace Private Limited. Merlin Hawk Aerospace receives this award for automatic workstations for online testing and adjustment of the Sukhoi 30 engine parameters. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the third category of awards, which is for infrastructure for design, manufacturing, and testing. And the first champion in this category is High Energy Batteries India Limited. High Energy Batteries India Limited receives this award for creation of facilities for testing of strategic naval underwater systems. And the next champion within the category of design, manufacturing, and testing is Sunlux Technovations Private Limited. Sunlux Technovations receives this award for indigenous test system for club class ATS subsystems. The fourth and final category is for export performance, and the champion award for export performance goes to Larsen and Toubro. Larsen and Toubro receiving this award in export performance for anti-submarine warfare, fire control systems. And the final award goes to NNF Technologies Private Limited. NNF Tech receives this award for critical parts and components for small arms like assault rifles, pistols, shotguns, revolvers, technology called metal injection molding. With that, we come to the end of the presentation of awards. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now have a release of the awards compendium. Release of the awards compendium, which is going to give all the details of the champions. In the meantime, I'd like to express thanks to all members of the awards jury, Dr. A. Sivthanu Pillai, the former chairman and MD of BrahMos Aerospace, Dr. Prahlad Ramarao, former CC R&D DRDO, Dr. R.K. Tyagi, former chairman HAL, Mr. S.C. Bajpai, former DGOF, chairman Ordnance Factory Board, Lieutenant General J.P. Nehra, principal advisor, SIDM, and Major General P.K. Saini, principal advisor, SIDM. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a momentous occasion to see and recognize the hard work which has been put in by the champions of the Indian defense industry. Sir, ये इतने हार्ड वर्क करने वाली इंडस्ट्री है, इंडिया डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री मेंबर्स अगर इनको ओलंपिक गेम्स में भेजा जाए तो भारत के मेडल्स भी बढ़ जाएंगे. एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाए सबके लिए. You are the strength. You are the strength of India. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now have an exchange of a very special memorandum of understanding between the SIDM and the All India Council of Technical Education. I'd like to say a couple of lines just to bring a highlight on this. This memorandum of understanding, when it's implemented, is bound to generate employment opportunities for our youth and fill the technical gaps required in the defense sector and allied sectors. SIDM and AICT need to be congratulated for collaborating to skill our engineering students through education and training to create futuristic defense and dual use technologies, reducing our dependency on foreign talent for the sector. I would now like to invite Professor Dr. T.G. Sitharam, the Chairman, All India Council of Technical Education, and he's going to exchange the MOU with Mr. Rajinder Singh Bhatia, the President of SIDM. Ladies and gentlemen, the moments of anticipation now come to an end. I would like to request our chief guest, the Honorable Raksha Mantri of India, Shri Rajnath Singh. श्रीमान कृपया सभा को संबोधित करें.
मैंने सोचा समीर सक्सेना कुछ और बोलेंगे. बोले सीखा कहाँ से है? इतना तो मैं समझ गया कि कोई सक्सेना ही होगा, कोई गायत्री होगा. लेकिन सीखा कब से है?
आपने बोलती बंद कर दी सर.
या तो आप बिहार के होंगे या तो यूपी के होंगे. हैं?
रिश्ता तो यूपी से.
यूपी से ही है. ये एसआईडीएम की मैं समझता हूँ कि ये 5वीं मीटिंग है जिसमें मैं पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा हूँ. जी. एक आध छुट्टी तो नहीं है, ऐसी कोई गुस्ताखी तो मेरी तरफ से नहीं हुई. पहले थी, उसमें नहीं आया होगा कोई. चलिए, पिछले कुछ दिनों से तबीयत थोड़ी नासाज थी. बीच में मैं सोच रहा था हो पाएगा कि नहीं हो पाएगा, लेकिन मैंने फिर फैसला किया कि बराबर एसआईडीएम की मीटिंग में गया हूँ. और मैं सच बतलाना चाहता हूँ, ये केवल फॉर्मेलिटी नहीं है. पता नहीं, एसआईडीएम की मीटिंग में आता हूँ जैसे लगता है कि अपने फैमिली मेंबर्स के बीच यहाँ पर गया. बहुत ही जो यहाँ पर लीडरशिप बैठी है, काफी एक अच्छा दिली रिश्ता सबके साथ हो गया है. और पॉलिटिशियंस और इंडस्ट्रीज के बहुत सारे लोग, एक ऐसी धारणा भी रही है कि जैसे रिश्ते होते हैं हमारा उस प्रकार का रिश्ता नहीं है, मत मानिएगा. बहुत चीफ ऑफ डिफेंस स्टाफ जनरल चौहान, सेक्रेटरी डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन श्री संजीव कुमार, हमारे नए सेक्रेटरी डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन आए, आप लोग परिचित, इनका चेहरा पहचान लीजिए. बहुत स्माइलिंग फेस है हमारे सेक्रेटरी डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन का. श्री राजेंद्र सिंह भाटिया, प्रेसिडेंट एसआईडीएम. आपके प्रेसिडेंट बनने के बाद राजेंद्र सिंह जी पहली बार आए. हाँ, पहली बार. कंग्रेचुलेशन आपको. बाबा कल्याणी जी तो हमारे बहुत ही पुराने लोगों में से हैं, भारत फौज लिमिटेड. श्री एसपी शुक्ला, पास्ट प्रेसिडेंट. शुक्ला जी भी बहुत पुराना संबंध है एसआईडीएम. श्री जैन डी पाटिल, पाटिल साहब का भी बहुत पुरानी दोस्ती हो गई है. श्री रमेश के, डायरेक्टर जनरल एसआईडीएम. हाँ, रमेश जी. और हमारे श्री मनोज जैन, सीएमडी बीएल, इंडस्ट्री लीडर, यंग इंटरप्रेन्योर्स, एसआईडीएम चैंपियन अवार्डी. और यहाँ पर अन्य सारे दोस्तों, देवियों, सज्जन. सोसाइटी ऑफ डिफेंस, सोसाइटी ऑफ इंडियन डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरर्स 7th एनुअल सेशन में यहाँ आप सबके बीच स्थित होकर मुझे सुखद अनुभूति हो रही है. मैं एसआईडीएम और इससे जुड़े सभी स्टेक होल्डर्स को एसआईडीएम की अब तक की सफल यात्रा के लिए हार्दिक बधाई देता हूँ. साथियों, एसआईडीएम का यह मंच वास्तव में भारत के डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के फ्यूचर की दिशा तय करने का एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट मंच बन गया है. ऐसा मैंने पिछले 4-5 बार में भी यहाँ आया हूँ देखा है. और इस बार के एनुअल फंक्शन की आप सबने जो थीम रखी है, एम्पावरिंग इंडियन डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री, कैटलाइजिंग एक्सपोर्ट्स एंड इंडिजिनस इनोवेशन, यह थीम आपके विजन को दिखाती है और आपके विजन के साथ-साथ ये डिफेंस सेक्टर में आत्मनिर्भरता की ओर भारत सरकार के संकल्प को भी ये दर्शाती है। आज मुझे एसआईडीएम चैंपियन अवार्ड्स भी प्रेजेंट करने का अवसर मिला है। मैं सभी अवार्डीज को इसके लिए अपनी तरफ से हार्दिक बधाई देता हूँ। और ये अवार्ड्स जो आपको मिले हैं, ये भारत में डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के क्षेत्र में एक्सेलेंस का बेंचमार्क बनेंगे, ऐसा मेरा विश्वास है। ये अवार्ड्स न सिर्फ आपकी कड़ी मेहनत और लगन को दिखाते हैं, बल्कि इसके साथ-साथ डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के क्षेत्र में बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस को भी ये रिकॉग्नाइज करते हैं। साथियों, इस तरह के जो एनुअल फंक्शंस होते हैं, सामान्यतः हमारा ध्यान उन ऐतिहासिक परिप्रेक्ष्यों की ओर भी ले जाते हैं, जो डे टू डे बिजनेस में हमसे इग्नोर होते रहते हैं। आप सब जानते हैं कि जब भारत आजाद हुआ था, उस समय हमने अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था को डेवलप करने के लिए मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी मॉडल एडॉप्ट किया था। यह मॉडल उस समय के दो बड़े आइडियोलॉजिकल सिस्टम्स यानी कैपिटलिज्म और साथ ही साथ कम्युनिज्म के एक बीच का यह रास्ता था, जिस रास्ते को उस समय हम लोगों ने एडॉप्ट किया था। इसका उद्देश्य यह था कि हम इन दोनों सिस्टम की अच्छी बातें मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी मॉडल में ला पाए। परंतु स्वतंत्रता के बाद के शुरुआती जो डिकेड्स रहे, उसमें ऐसा चाहते हुए भी यह संभव नहीं हो पाया। अर्थव्यवस्था में प्राइवेट सेक्टर इंडस्ट्रीज की भागीदारी उतनी नहीं हो पाई जितने की उम्मीद की गई थी। इसके कई कारण थे, जैसे कैपिटल की कमी, स्किल्ड मैन पावर की कमी, लाइसेंस राज, रेड टेपिज्म, कोटा परमिट राज, एक्सेट्रा। इन चीजों के कारण प्राइवेट सेक्टर को बहुत दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ता था। और यह अनफॉर्चुनेट था कि प्राइवेट सेक्टर को कभी भी वैसे अवसर नहीं मिल पाए, वैसा इन्वायरमेंट नहीं मिल पाया जैसा कि उन्हें पहले ही मिल जाना चाहिए था। जहां तक डिफेंस इंडस्ट्रियल इकोसिस्टम का प्रश्न है, वहां भी ऐसे अवरोध, ऐसी रुकावटें रही ही हैं, लेकिन इन सबके साथ इस सेक्टर की अपनी समस्याएं भी कम नहीं थी। एक ओर यह सारी कमियां और दूसरी ओर पुरानी सरकारों का डिफेंस सेक्टर की क्षमताओं को लेकर अविश्वास भी होना था। पुराने समय से चली आ रही ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री बोर्ड भी समय के अनुसार खुद को परिवर्तित करने में सफल रही थी। और भी अनेक कारण थे जिनकी चर्चा करना मेरा उद्देश्य यहाँ पर नहीं है, लेकिन यथार्थ यही था, डिफेंस सेक्टर में हम एक इंपोर्ट डिपेंडेंट कंट्री ही थे। साथियों, आज जब मैं आपसे यहाँ पर मुखातिब हो रहा हूँ, मैं वर्तमान सरकार की थर्ड टर्म में आपके सामने यहाँ पर मौजूद हूँ। डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन के क्षेत्र में आप हमारी थिंकिंग एंड पॉलिसीज को तो अच्छी तरह जानते ही हैं। हमारी सरकार पिछले सभी प्रयासों को न सिर्फ कंटिन्यू करेगी, बल्कि इसमें और अधिक जितनी तेजी लाई जा सकती है, उतनी तेजी लाने की कोशिश करेगी। अब सेल्फ रिलायंस, आत्मनिर्भरता के प्रयासों को और अधिक वोकल किया जाएगा, यह हमारी गवर्नमेंट का फर्म कन्विक्शन है। जैसा कि आप सभी जानते हैं कि पिछले प्रयासों में हमने एफडीआई रूल्स में रिफॉर्म किया, ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री बोर्ड की अकाउंटेबिलिटी को इंश्योर करने के लिए उनका कॉर्पोरेटाइजेशन किया, 2 डिफेंस इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर्स की स्थापना की, डीआरडीओ द्वारा प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्रीज की हैंड होल्डिंग इंश्योर की गई, डीएपी द्वारा प्राइवेट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को प्रोत्साहन दिया गया और हाई एंड टेक्नोलॉजी के क्षेत्र में कई अल्टरनेटिव पॉलिसीज भी लाई गई, ताकि डोमेस्टिक डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में प्राइवेट सेक्टर की ज्यादा से ज्यादा भूमिका सुनिश्चित की जा सके। हमने देश में ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस माहौल तैयार किया। भारत की डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री को एक्सपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड बनाने का एक जो महत्वाकांक्षी लक्ष्य हमारा था, वह सबके सामने रखा। साथियों, आप लोग लंबे समय से चल रहे रूस यूक्रेन युद्ध को अच्छी तरह देख रहे हैं। कुछ समय तक बड़े बड़े एक्सपर्ट्स यह बनने लग गए थे, अब युद्ध का स्वरूप पहले जैसा नहीं रह गया है। युद्ध का स्वरूप अब पहले से भिन्न हो गया है। पर इस युद्ध ने उन मान्यताओं को मैंने नकार नहीं दिया है, बल्कि उन मान्यताओं पर पूरी तरह से नहीं फेर दिया है। यह युद्ध बताता है, जो रशिया और यूक्रेन का है, डिफेंस इंडस्ट्रियल बेस की इंपॉर्टेंस अब भी पहले से भी कम नहीं हुई है, भी बनी हुई है, बल्कि आने वाले समय में इसे एक्सपेंड करने की भी जरूरत है। इसके लिए सरकार हर वह प्रयास करने को तैयार है जो किए जाने चाहिए। और इस मंच से मैं आपसे भी यह कहना चाहूंगा कि आने वाले समय में डिफेंस इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट के नए फेज में आपकी भूमिका, मैं मानता हूं, बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण होने वाली है। आपने देखा होगा कि मैं खुद से भी सलाह लेने के लिए हमेशा उत्सुक रहता हूं। भारत की डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, जब भी आप लोगों से भेंट होती है, मैं बराबर यही चर्चा करता हूं कि और मैं क्या कर सकता हूं, हमारी मिनिस्ट्री क्या कर सकती है, भारत की डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को किस तरीके से और बढ़ावा दिया जाए। इसके लिए हम सब बजट के दौरान और इसके अलावा भी एक दूसरे से राय मशविरा भी करते रहते हैं। बहुत सारे नीतिगत कार्य किए गए हैं, जिनमें एसआईडीएम भी भागीदार है। बहुत सारे पॉलिसी डिसीजंस लेने के पहले भी मीटिंग्स हुई हैं, उसमें एसआईडीएम के ऑफिस बियर्स जो है, उन्होंने भी पार्टिसिपेट किया है। हमारा यह प्रयास रखता है, जब भी हम कोई नई पहल करें तो उसमें आपकी सलाह जरूर ली जाए। साथियों, यहां पर मैं विशेष रूप से पॉजिटिव इंडिजिनाइजेशन लिस्ट की भी बात करूंगा। आप सबको पता होगा कि भारत के डिफेंस इकोसिस्टम में सभी स्टेक होल्डर्स और एसआईडीएम से सलाह मशविरा करके हमने 5 इंडिजिनाइजेशन लिस्ट जारी की, जिसके तहत 509 ऐसे उपकरण चिन्हित किए गए जिनका निर्माण अब आगे भारत की धरती पर ही होगा। इसके अतिरिक्त हमने डिफेंस पब्लिक सेक्टर अंडरटेकिंग्स के लिए भी 5 पॉजिटिव इंडिजाइजेशन लिस्ट जारी की, जिसके तहत 5000 से अधिक ऐसे उपकरण आइडेंटिफाई किए गए हैं जिनका निर्माण हमारे देश में, हमारे देशवासियों के हाथों से होगा। साथियों, ये लिस्ट निश्चित रूप से आपके लिए भी एस्पिरेशनल बेंचमार्क है, लेकिन मेरा आपसे यह कहना है कि इन लिस्ट पर क्या प्रोग्रेस हो रही है, इसका आकलन और उसको देखने का काम सिर्फ सरकार न करे, बल्कि यह आपका भी काम है कि आप खुद इस दिशा में पहल करें। ये काम हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा। आप खुद से यह देखिए कि ये जो पॉजिटिव इंडिजिनाइजेशन लिस्ट निकाली गई है, इस दिशा में हमारी डोमेस्टिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनीज कितना काम कर पा रही हैं, और जो उन्हें कोई समस्या आ रही है, उस समस्या को तुरंत संज्ञान में लेकर का निदान भी किया जाए। और मैं तो यह भी मानता हूं कि नंबर बढ़ाना नहीं, हमको पॉजिटिव इंडिजिनाइजेशन लिस्ट में तुमने 500 कर लिया, 5000 कर लिया, 6000 कर लिया, यदि नहीं संभव है तो निकालिए इंडिजिनाइजेशन लिस्ट से, मत निकालिए उसको। जो कर सकते हैं उन्हीं आइटम्स को उसमें शामिल करना चाहिए। यह लिस्ट भले ही रक्षा क्षेत्र को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए निकाली गई है, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली ये लिस्ट आपको ही समर्पित है, क्योंकि आपको ही करना है। अल्टीमेटली इन लिस्ट पर आप सबको ही काम करना है, इसलिए आप सब न सिर्फ इस लिस्ट की प्रोग्रेस देखिए, बल्कि इसके साथ साथ आप इन लिस्ट में और भी क्या चीजें जोड़ी जा सकती हैं, क्या कम की जा सकती हैं, इसका सुझाव भी लगातार देते रहिए। मैं यह आपसे अपील करना चाहता हूं। यह सच है कि यह लिस्ट आपसे कंसल्टेशन के बाद ही तैयार की जाती है, लेकिन इसके बावजूद दुनिया में रक्षा क्षेत्र में जिस तरीके से लगातार तेजी से परिवर्तन आ रहे हैं, उसे देखते हुए मैं आपसे यह आह्वान करूंगा, इसमें और क्या कुछ नया किया जा सकता है, इसके भी बारे में आप लोग विचार करिए। साथियों, देखिए 509 आइटम्स की यह लिस्ट कोई स्टैटिक लिस्ट नहीं है, यह एक डायनेमिक लिस्ट है जो समय के साथ साथ घटती रहनी चाहिए। हमें आकलन करना चाहिए कि जब पॉजिटिव इंडिजिनाइजेशन लिस्ट की पहली लिस्ट आई थी, तो इनमें से हमने कितने आइटम्स पर आत्मनिर्भरता हासिल कर ली है। हमारा प्रयास यह होना चाहिए कि समय के अनुसार इन आइटम्स के लिए पूर्ण आत्मनिर्भरता हम करें और इस लिस्ट को छोटा करते जाए। साथियों, मैं एक और चीज पर आपका ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। जैसा कि मैंने पहले जिक्र किया, भारत डिफेंस एक्सपोर्ट की तरफ भी बहुत तेजी से अपने कदम बढ़ा रहा है। उसमें एसआईडीएम की भूमिका भी बहुत ही उल्लेखनीय है, लेकिन जितना मैं उम्मीद करता था अभी उतनी नहीं है। आप सबने देखा भी होगा कि फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2023-24 में भारत का डिफेंस एक्सपोर्ट 21,000 करोड़ पार कर गया है, जो कि अभी तक अपने आप में एक रिकॉर्ड है। हो सकता है बहुत सारे लोग उत्साहित होते हैं, लेकिन मैं इतने से बहुत उत्साहित नहीं होता। इसमें ज्यादातर एक्सपोर्ट प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्री से ही हुए हैं। चिंता का विषय यह है। आप लोगों का अभिनंदन है। यह निश्चित रूप से हमारी अच्छी प्रगति है, लेकिन इसके बावजूद हमें अभी और भी बहुत कुछ करना है। इसके लिए मैं चाहूंगा कि आप सब डिफेंस एक्सपोर्ट की इस आंकड़े को ध्यान में रखें ही, साथ ही साथ डिफेंस इंपोर्ट के आंकड़ों को भी ध्यान में रखें। केवल एक्सपोर्ट ही नहीं, इंपोर्ट का भी ध्यान रखें। जब आपके पास दोनों के डाटा उपलब्ध होंगे, तो हम एक टारगेट ओरिएंटेड अप्रोच के साथ इन दोनों के बीच के रेशियो को कम करने की दिशा में काम कर सकेंगे। हमें उस ओरिएंटेशन की ओर जाने की आवश्यकता है, जहां पर हम अपने डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन को इस अप्रोच के साथ देखें कि कैसे हम इंपोर्ट को और कम कर सकते हैं, एक्सपोर्ट को और बढ़ा सकते हैं, ताकि इन दोनों के बीच का जो डिफरेंस अभी बहुत ज्यादा है, कम से कम किया जा सके। इसमें मैं इस कार्य में आपकी भूमिका और बढ़ते हुए मैं देखना चाहता हूं। कैसे आपका रोल इसमें और अधिक बढ़ सकता है, ये आप ही को विचार करना है। साथियों, साइडियम के नाम पर जब हम ध्यान देते हैं, तो हम पाते हैं कि इसके नाम में इंडियन डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरर शब्द है, यह वर्ड है। अर्थात यह एक ऐसा समूह है जिसमें इंडिया की पब्लिक सेक्टर और प्राइवेट सेक्टर दोनों प्रकार के डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरर्स की भूमिका है। आप सब जब डोमेस्टिक डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन की ओवरऑल वैल्यू देखेंगे, आप पाएंगे कि हमारा डोमेस्टिक डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन 2023-24 में 1,27,000 करोड़ के रिकॉर्ड आंकड़े को पार कर चुका है, जो कि निश्चित रूप से हमारे लिए एक प्रसन्नता का विषय है। लेकिन जब हम बारीकी से इसके आंकड़े को देखते हैं, तो हम पाते हैं कि इनमें से अधिकांश हिस्सा डीपीएसयू द्वारा जनरेट किया जा रहा है। क्षमा कीजिएगा, बात बुरी तो नहीं लगी? मोटे तौर पे देखें तो डीपीएसयू सेक्टर का हिस्सा 1 लाख करोड़ का जा रहा है। 1,27,000 करोड़ में 1 लाख करोड़ का शेयर यदि किसी का है तो डीपीएसयू का है, जबकि प्राइवेट कंपनियों का केवल 27,000 करोड़ रुपए का प्रोडक्शन है। इन आंकड़ों के माध्यम से मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूं कि टोटल डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन में प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्रीज की हिस्सेदारी बढ़ाने का एक बहुत बड़ा स्कोप है। हम प्राइवेट सेक्टर की भागीदारी को जल्द ही किसी तरह से टोटल डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन के कम से कम आधे हिस्से तक ले जाए। जितना डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन होता है, कम से कम 50% पार्टिसिपेशन हमारी सबका। यह हमारा टारगेट होना चाहिए आगे का, और इस टारगेट को अचीव करने की दिशा में हम हमेशा आपके साथ खड़े हैं। मैं पूरा यकीन दिलाता हूँ। और साथियों, मुझे कभी कभी देखिए, पिछले साल भी मैं यकीन दिला रहा था, 5 साल उस समय भी रहा, हो गया 5 साल। 5 साल में तो बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं आप। साथियों, मुझे कभी कभी यह सुनने को भी मिलता है कि तमाम सुधार कार्यक्रमों के बावजूद आज के नए स्टार्टअप स्मॉल या मीडियम साइज इंडस्ट्रीज को ग्राउंड लेवल पर वो ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस नहीं मिल पाता है, जैसा कि हमारी पॉलिसीज में इंटेंडेड होता है। इसलिए मैं आपसे यह भी आग्रह करूंगा कि आप जमीनी स्तर पर आ रही प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम्स का भी आकलन करिए। कहां पर प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही हैं डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन की फील्ड में, इनोवेशन के फील्ड में, रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट के फील्ड में ग्राउंड लेवल पर जो समस्याएं आ रही हैं, उन्हें दूर करने में आप मुझे सुझाव भी दीजिए और आप मेरी मदद भी करिए। यह मैं आपसे अपील करना चाहता हूं। साथियों, एक और खास विषय जो मैं आपके सामने लाना चाहता हूं, वह यह कि सरकार बड़ी विदेशी कंपनीज और ओईएम से अलग अलग मंचों पर भारत आकर इन्वेस्ट करने या प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्री के साथ मिलकर ज्वाइंट वेंचर खोलने के लिए प्रयासरत रहती है। मैं खुद भी जब यूएस, इटली, यूके, फ्रांस आदि देशों में जाता हूं, वहां की कंपनीज के सीईओज के साथ बैठता हूं और उन्हें भारत आने का निमंत्रण भी देता हूं। और सीईओज भी इतने स्मार्ट होते हैं, जब उनके साथ मैं बैठता हूं 30, 40, 30, 40, 45, 60, 70 नंबर होता है, तो मुझे लगता है इतने कॉन्फिडेंस, इतनी तालियां बजती हैं कि उसके बाद मुझे लगता है कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बढ़ जाता है। अब क्या, भारत सब कुछ आने ही वाला है। और हम गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट लेवल पर तो यह कार्य करते ही रहेंगे, बराबर ये सिलसिला चलता ही रहेगा। मैं चाहता हूं कि एसआईडीएम की फर्म टू फर्म बेसिस पर विदेशी ओईएम्स या बड़ी कंपनीज के साथ कोलैबोरेशन के लिए एक रोड मैप बनाए जाएं। जब हम ट्रांसफर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी की बात करते हैं, उसमें आपका बहुत बड़ा रोल होता है। आप इस बात को इंश्योर करने में सक्षम हैं यह टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर कितना और किस हद तक भारत में हो पा रहा है। इन टेक्नोलॉजी या प्रोसेसेस को देश में लाने के लिए आपका पोटेंशियल रोल बहुत बड़ा है। मैं चाहता हूं कि आप सब इस पर भी विचार करें, क्या हो सकता है। साथियों, इसके अलावा एक आखिरी बात, जिसे आपके सामने लाकर मैं अपनी बात को समाप्त करूंगा, कि आमतौर पर हाई टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट प्राइवेट सेक्टर में ही देखा जाता है। प्राइवेट सेक्टर में ऐसे अनेक इंसेंटिव और फ्लेक्सिबिलिटीज होती हैं जो अमूमन गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में कम देखने को मिलती है। इसी को ध्यान में रखते हुए हमने कटिंग एज टेक्नोलॉजी के डेवलपमेंट के लिए कई स्कीम्स चलाई हैं। आप सभी आईडेक्स, टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट फंड, हाल ही में आई हुई अदिति स्कीम और विभिन्न प्रकार के इंसेंटिव स्कीम्स के बारे में जानते हैं, जो रक्षा मंत्रालय द्वारा चलाई जा रही हैं। और जब जब आवश्यकता पड़ती है, हम आपकी सलाहों के अनुसार इस सेक्टर को और भी अट्रैक्टिव बनाने का प्रयास करते हैं। इस मंच से मैं एक बार फिर से आपका आह्वान करना चाहूंगा कि कटिंग एज हाई टेक्नोलॉजी वाले डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री के सेक्टर में आप नेचुरली बहुत ही कॉम्पिटेंट हैं, और इस सेक्टर में आपको और भी पॉजिटिव दखल की आवश्यकता है। ये भूमिका मैं कह सकता था, रोल मैं कह सकता था, लेकिन दखल की आवश्यकता है। मेरे कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ आप दखल दीजिए, ये होना चाहिए। मैं डिफेंस मिनिस्टर बोल रहा हूँ, कुछ सोच समझ कर बोल रहा हूँ। आप कहिए ना कि मंत्री ये होना ही चाहिए, क्यों नहीं होंगी चाहिए। मैं सभी इंडस्ट्री स्टेक होल्डर से आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, साइबर डिफेंस और ऑटोनोमस सिस्टम जैसे एरियाज में इन्वेस्टमेंट को बढ़ाने का आग्रह करता हूँ, और इस दिशा में हम किस प्रकार से आगे बढ़ सकते हैं, इस बारे में भी आप सब विचार करें, चिंतन करें, हमें अपने विचारों से अवगत कराएं कि सरकार इस दिशा में आपका सहयोग कर सके। ये मेरे कुछ विचार और सुझाव थे जिसे मैंने आपके सामने रखा है। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि आप सब मेरे सुझावों पर और मेरी इन बातों पर निश्चित रूप से विचार करेंगे। और मैं इस मंच से एक बार फिर से आपको आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूँ कि सरकार हर कदम पर के साथ खड़ी है। जो कुछ भी मैंने कहा है, यदि वो उचित न हो तो उसको रिजेक्ट भी करिए, लेकिन बतलाइए हमको कि नहीं, ये नहीं हो पाएगा, संभव है। भी एकदम बिल्कुल चुप्पी साधे बैठे रहेंगे और हम भी चले, निकल जाएगा हमारा भी समय और आप भी। ये सब नहीं होना चाहिए, खुलकर बोलिए, बताइए चीजें ना। हम तो बराबर 5 साल से यही कहते रहे, क्यों शुक्ला जी? आप कोई अधिकार हम लोग देते हैं, हाथ पकड़ कर काम कराइए हम लोगों का। पहली मीटिंग शायद डिफेंस मिनिस्टर बनने के बाद जब हुई थी, या मुझे याद है, हम लोग भी थे शायद उसमें। हाँ, आप लोग थे। ये हुआ कि शायद डिफेंस मिनिस्ट्री में जाने पर कुछ प्रतिबंध था या क्या करना पड़ता था, कुछ ऐसा ही था। क्यों ऐसे ही था शुक्ला? रिस्ट्रिक्शन था। तो मैंने उसी मीटिंग में कहा था, जब तक मैं डिफेंस मिनिस्टर हूं यहाँ पर, तक जो आना चाहे जब आना चाहे डिफेंस मिनिस्ट्री में आ सकता है, मुझे उसकी चिंता नहीं है। राइट? जिसकी नीयत में खोट हो वह सोचे। यहाँ मामला पूरी तरह से साफ-साफ है। काहे का डर? मान लीजिए लोग कहेंगे साहब कि अफ़सर के पास जाएँगे, कहीं ये हो जाएगा। अरे जो हो जाएगा तो 1 बार बचेगा, 2 बार बचेगा, तीसरी बार तो आ ही जाएगा। और कहीं गड़बड़ होता है तो वो भी बतलाइए। निश्चित कहीं गड़बड़ होता है बतलाइए। पूरी आ जाती है। और मैं आपको यकीन दिलाता हूँ जो आप बतलाएँगे, मैं किसी को बताऊँगा नहीं। लेकिन जो मुझे करना होगा कर डालूँगा। मैं आपको वचन देता हूँ, आप मुझे बतलाइए, सारी इन्फॉर्मेशंस दीजिए। मैं आपके साथ खड़ा हूँ। हमको अपना डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाना है। 1,27,000 करोड़ का है ना, 1,27,000 करोड़ का। उसको बढ़ाना है, कैसे बढ़ाएँगे? कैसे अपना एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ाएँगे? इनको क्या करना चाहिए? मिनिस्ट्री क्या करे? हम जो नहीं कहते हैं कि हम सब कुछ कर डालेंगे, हमारी इतनी क्षमता है। हमारी भी लिमिटेशंस हैं। हमारी लिमिटेशंस को समझते हुए आप सुझाव दीजिए, क्या हम कर सकते हैं? पूरे कॉन्फिडेंस एकदम से कॉन्फिडेंस साथ जाइए कि पूरी तरह से मिनिस्ट्री आपके साथ है। लेकिन आप लोग सुझाव-उझाव कम देते हैं। अब ये आप लोग देते रहिए, पहले ही देते थे लोग सबसे। हाँ, चलिए आप सबको बहुत-बहुत शुभकामनाएँ। बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद।
सर, आप लोगों के लिए खुशखबरी है। देयर इज़ गुड न्यूज़ कमिंग योर वे। सर, आपके प्रोत्साहन भरे शब्दों से सबके दिलों की धड़कन तेज़ हो गई है। तो इसलिए इनके चेहरों पे मुस्कान लाना ज़रूरी है। तो बिल्कुल सर, इसलिए मैं एक खुशखबरी देना चाहता हूँ आप सबको कि तालियों पर अभी तक जीएसटी नहीं एप्लीकेबल है। आई जस्ट होप मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस के तो नहीं है यहाँ पे कोई बैठे हैं। May I now request Sri S.P. Shukla, immediate past president of SIDM, to please present the vote of thanks.
Thank you.
शुक्ला जी, जो मैंने कुछ कहा है, इस पर भी कुछ बोल सकते हैं आप? बोलिए, जो अच्छा है तो मत कहिए।
जी, Honorable Raksha Mantri, Shri Rajnath Singh ji, General Chauhan, Sanjay Kumar ji, all the dignitaries on the stage, my colleagues in defense industry, all of us are working together towards developing India's defense system. It is always a pleasure to welcome Shri Rajnath Singh ji. जैसा उन्होंने खुद कहा, पिछले 5 साल में एक भी कॉन्फ्रेंस मिस नहीं की है। हम लोग जब 8-10 फाउंडिंग मेंबर्स ने एसआईडीएम बनाया था कुछ साल पहले, तो मेरा सौभाग्य रहा, कभी वाइस प्रेसिडेंट 2 साल, कभी प्रेसिडेंट 2 साल, अभी इमीडिएट पास्ट प्रेसिडेंट। जब भी हमने सिंह साहब से रिक्वेस्ट किया है, वो आए हैं और मैं हमेशा कहता हूं कि उत्साह बढ़ जाता है। हर इंडस्ट्री में, हर बिजनेस में रोज कुछ ना कुछ खटपट समस्याएं होती हैं। इट्स अ फैक्ट ऑफ लाइफ दैट कैन नॉट बी डिनाइड, बट ओकेजनली वन नीड्स एनकरेजमेंट एंड देन वी गेट बैक टू वर्क। दैट इज द नेचर ऑफ लाइफ। सर, आपने हर ओकेजन पर हमें एक थीम बताई है। अब मैं जब याद करता हूं, अब एज ए पास्ट प्रेसिडेंट, 5 साल पहले आपने कहा था क्वांटिटेटिव टारगेट्स किए जाएंगे जिससे कि परसेंटेज ऑफ इंडिजिनस प्रोडक्शन विल राइज। 30% होता था और आज अभी संजय कुमार जी बता रहे थे कि 75% इंडिजिनस होगा। जो ऑर्डर्स प्लेस होंगे 75, 30 से 75 हो चुका है। हमारी जो बाकी चीजें हैं उस पर भी आपने बोला। उस वक्त प्राइवेट सेक्टर का शेयर 10% था, आज 19% के करीब है।
तो हम 10 से 19 पर पहुंचे हैं और आज टारगेट मिल गया है कि हमें 50 पर पहुंचना है। तो सर, ग्रोथ के लिए, इंडस्ट्री की ग्रोथ के लिए प्राइवेट सेक्टर को ज़्यादा कंट्रीब्यूट करना ही होगा। बस इतना है कि तब 30% का 10% था और आज 75% का 19% है। आगे तो हम बढ़े हैं, लेकिन ओवरऑल ग्रोथ इतनी हुई है कि उसमें हमारा शेयर लगता है कि 10 का 19 हुआ, लेकिन वास्तव में ये 75 में 19 हुआ है। आगे बढ़े हैं, लेकिन बहुत काम बाकी है। जम्मू कॉन्फ्रेंस, जब आई वाज देयर एज प्रेसिडेंट, सर
जानकारी के लिए कहीं कैपिटल की प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं आती है?
सर एमएसएमईज को डेफिनेटली ये प्रॉब्लम फेस होती है, लार्ज कंपनीज को नहीं।
नहीं, मैं कहता हूँ कि कैपिटल की भी यदि प्रॉब्लम होती होगी तो कुछ भी बैंक्स के रूल्स रेगुलेशंस जो हैं वो खैर तो अप्लाई होंगे ही, इसमें कहीं दो राय नहीं। लेकिन जरूरत होगी तो इसमें फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर से बात हो सकती है।
राइट।
प्रधानमंत्री सहयोग करने के लिए तैयार
जी सर, एक्सिम बैंक से
है।
एक्सपोर्ट
उसको भी बताइए,
जी
उसमें भी मदद करेंगे।
जी
एमएसएमई और स्टार्टअप्स को तो इशू है,
जी
और उसके लिए सिडबी से भी थोड़ी बातचीत हो रही है और एग्जिम बैंक से भी एक्सपोर्ट के लिए बातचीत की है।
भाई यदि मैं पूछा ना होता तो ना मालूम हुआ होता मुझे। नहीं, उसमें भी आप जिसको कहेंगे बात करने के लिए, एक फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है इसमें। बात हो सकती है, बैंक से बात हो सकती है।
सर, आपने बिल्कुल पॉइंट आउट ठीक किया है। फाइनेंस और एक्सपोर्ट्स के लिए कॉमर्स मिनिस्ट्री, एक्सिम बैंक का प्रोसेस कॉमन था। यदि आप तेल भी बेच रहे हैं, घी भी बेच रहे हैं, यदि आप कुछ भी बेच रहे हैं, उसकी भी प्रोसेस है और डिफेंस एक्सपोर्ट की प्रोसेस एक बराबर। अब उसके लिए एक अलग बेंच बनाई जा रही है, उसका फॉलोअप चल रहा था पिछले 1.5-2 साल से। उसमें प्रोग्रेस हो रही है फॉर एक्सपोर्ट्स। 21,000 करोड़ हम आ गए हैं, खुशी की बात है, लेकिन जैसा आपने बोला 50,000 करोड़ से कम में बोलने में भी अच्छा नहीं लगता है। तो अगला टारगेट हमारा 50 करोड़ का है टुगेदर। प्राइवेट सेक्टर सर यहाँ ज्यादा काम किया है। कैपेबिलिटी ऑफ प्राइवेट सेक्टर शोज फ्रॉम एक्सपोर्ट्स। यदि हमने 60% प्राइवेट सेक्टर ने किया है एक्सपोर्ट्स और 40% पब्लिक सेक्टर ने किया है, इंडिजिनस प्रोडक्शन में इस 80-20, लेकिन उल्टा हो जाता है जब एक्सपोर्ट की बात आती है तो इट इज 60% प्राइवेट सेक्टर। दैट शोज कि व्हाट वी आर कैपेबल ऑफ। खाली पार्टिसिपेशन इन द सिस्टम, दैट हैज टू गो अप, वो आगे बढ़ेगा। बिगिनिंग हैज बीन मेड। सर, जम्मू में आपने हमें कई सुझाव दिए थे इंडस्ट्री को। कुछ इंट्रोस्पेक्शन की नेचर में थे कि हमें खुद अपने घर में क्या करना है, और कुछ फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग थे। सभी सुझावों पर हमारे मेंबर्स ने काम किया है। आर&डी पर फोकस करने के लिए आपका स्पेसिफिक सजेशन था जम्मू में, उसके ऊपर हम लोगों ने काफी काम किया है। अवार्ड्स की जो नेचर है, जैसे आज आपने देखा, इट इज गेटिंग डीपर एंड डीपर इनटू हायर एंड compared to what you had seen 5 years ago. It is getting more and more advanced technology. People are winning awards for more and more advanced work. Collaboration is definitely need of the hour. In earlier sessions, CDS has mentioned the same. Collaborative competition, it is very important. सर, हम लोग एक साथ काम करते हैं। एक प्रेसिडेंट ने काम शुरू किया होगा, दूसरे प्रेसिडेंट के टेन्योर में पूरा होगा। वो जो शुरू करेगा वो तीसरे के टेन्योर में पूरा होगा। इट्स अ कंटिन्यूटी ऑफ वर्क विच इज वर्किंग। देर इज कंपटीशन बट देर इज कोलैबोरेशन। अकेला कोई कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा। 700 में से 10 कंपनियां खाली लार्ज कंपनी में मानी जा सकती हैं, बाकी 690 एमएसएमई है। दैट इज समथिंग वी वांट टू हाईलाइट। I would like to now congratulate also SIDM and AICT put together. I was just saying, there you are, for signing the MOU today. It's very important that our IITs and other engineering colleges bring focus on defense technology. हम जब आईआईटी में पढ़े थे तो डिफेंस उसमें कहीं नहीं था. That was a interest taken subsequently by most of us. But now there is a need, be it electronics, be it mechanical engineering, be it electrical engineering, our campuses should talk about this. And that requires all of us to go to our IITs and motivate people, motivate students, that while you can make soap, shampoo, everything, and that will find a ready market and you can sell. That's not a problem. But there are also things which are towards national enterprise, nation building, and we need the brightest of our academic institutions to come to defense industry, and that we need to do. That is how defense industry has been built all over the world. I would like to also thank all dignitaries, members of FSIDM, industry leaders who are present today. Your participation and collaboration has made it possible to where we stand today as SIDM. A special word of thanks to our partners, organizers, our secretariat, who have worked tirelessly behind the scene. You can see me, you can see some of us speaking, but there is so much work happens by the teams which is not always visible. I want to thank them personally. Lastly, as we conclude this session, we look forward to continued collaboration, shared innovations, and building on the momentum which has been created today. Thank you so much. With that, sir, we would like to thank you once again for gracing the occasion in spite of your health not keeping well. Thank you so much. Thank you, General Chauhan. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
विषय है दिशा आपने दिखा दी कि आज के दिन 27,000 करोड़ से यदि मैं आप ही के कथन से 3 लाख करोड़ पे आज से 5 साल में जाना चाहता हूं तो प्राइवेट सेक्टर को 1.5 लाख करोड़ का प्रोडक्शन करना होगा 27 से 1.5 लाख दिशा ये है इसमें गति कैसे आएगी और इसकी स्ट्रेटेजी क्या होनी चाहिए आपको एक सुझाव देना चाहता हूं जितने भी टेंडर निकलते हैं आपके पास हर महीने उसका एक रिपोर्ट आनी चाहिए आज मैंने 1,000 करोड़ का टेंडर निकाला 500 करोड़ का निकाला आपकी ऑफिस यदि उसको मॉनिटर करेगी तो एमओडी डिफेंस में इसमें गति आएगी और ये जो एक हमारा सिस्टम है कि सारे ऑर्डर सितंबर के बाद ही आते हैं 6 महीने तो हम खाली रहते हैं और यदि हम इस विषय में आपके दफ्तर से आगे बात बढ़ेगी तो सबके ऊपर प्रेशर रहेगा सिस्टम के ऊपर रहेगा दूसरी बात हम सब कहते हैं कि साहब आत्मनिर्भर चाहते हैं जरूरी है आज का माहौल ही कुछ ऐसा है इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी जो क्रिएट करता है वो तो एक छोटी कंपनी है कल एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रही थी जिसमें कि फौज के लोग थे और एक बड़ा अच्छा प्रश्न उठा कि साहब मैं इसकी प्राइस डिस्कवरी कैसे करूं तो यदि मैंने किसी चीज की कोई इजाद की है तो मुझसे ये पूछा जा रहा है कि आप अपनी कॉस्ट बताइए इस विषय पे आपका तो जवाब मिल ही गया लेकिन जो फाइनेंस के लोग हैं इस सेक्टर में उनको इस विषय को बहुत गहराई से सोचना पड़ेगा क्या जब हम विदेश में जाते हैं तो उनसे पूछते हैं कि भैया तुम अपनी कॉस्टिंग दिखाओ नहीं करते हैं ना व्हाट इज प्राइस एंड हाउ इट शुड बी प्राइस्ड इसमें भय की बात नहीं है इसके लिए एक ऐसा सुचारू सिस्टम होना चाहिए कि मैं अपना माल आपको बेचूं और बाहर जाके ना बेचूं जहां मुझे 4 गुने ज्यादा पैसे मिलते धन्यवाद
मैं सिर्फ इतना कह सकता हूँ कि रक्षा मंत्री जी ने बताया था कि वो एक मीटिंग होल्ड करेंगे सीईओज के साथ और वहाँ पे आप लोग अपना प्रॉब्लम मत लेके आइए प्रॉब्लम बताइए और उसका सोल्यूशन लेके आइए और मैं इम्प्लीमेंट करवा के दूंगा तो आई थिंक वी आर वेटिंग फॉर दैट मीटिंग हाँ नहीं सर अगले मीटिंग करेंगे अगले मीटिंग
Ladies and gentlemen, conclude this session. We'd like to have a group photograph. I'd like to invite all the Champion Award winners onto the stage. All members of the Champion Awards jury also to please come on the stage. Rest of the audience is requested to please remain seated.
सर आगे सर हम आगे खड़े हैं सर
All guests are requested to please be seated. सभी अतिथियों से निवेदन है कृपया अपनी कुर्सियों पर बैठ जाएं.
आइए सर सर लंच